book dragons, I'm back for another video. So I did this video a very long time ago, but I just got to 525 subscribers. I think it's actually 24, but hopefully when this gets posted I get one more subscriber. And I just sort of want to reintroduce myself because I've been getting a lot of new followers in the past year, especially in the last month. It's been a lot of growth for me on YouTube, which has been super exciting. But if you don't know, I have been on Booktube for an extremely long time. This is probably my 8th or my 9th year on Booktube. I would have to go back and look at my first video, but it's been a bit. And I started it way before everything else in my life. I started before my full-time job. I started it way back in the day, but I just kind of wanted to reintroduce myself and give you guys what you guys can expect from this channel going forward and what my life looks like and a little bit about me. So I started this channel way back many moons ago just because I like to talk about reading and I like sharing my thoughts. I'm very much more a word person. I like to speak a lot more than I like to write, just because I struggle with writing a little bit. That's why I really do like the vlog content. I love doing vlogs. I love sharing my thoughts in the process because I think that they change so much. And I love to read, but in my immediate life when I started that channel, I didn't have a lot of friends that loved to read as much as I did. So I was hoping for a sense of community and friendship and dynamics and growth. Honestly, at that point when I started, I would just update my video every day that I made them. So if I would make 3 videos a day, I would upload 3 videos a day. So it really was not at all the consistency, but I really started it because of just that I love to read and I wanted to get other people's feedbacks. At that point, way back then, I think I was following Reagan from Peru's Project, Cassidy Von Dinch, and that's probably it. Those are the 2 booktubers that I started to follow, and everyone else doesn't really exist anymore on Booktube, at least that I can remember. But way back in the day, I started doing it just to kind of keep track of my thoughts. And of course I had Goodreads, but I just did wrap-ups. I did individual book reviews, which I don't do a ton of anymore. I guess I kind of vlog a book or 2 here and there just to kind of give you guys my fleshed out thoughts. But that's sort of how I started in Booktube. And then it just was something that I just kept doing. That was something that was just my consistent fun thing that I did. I had a lot of different jobs. I was going to school at the time. I think at that point, that was right after I graduated from college the second time. I have 3 degrees, and I continued doing it all when I was in college the 3rd time, and then I continued doing it when I got hired as being a DOE theater teacher in Astoria, Queens, and now it's just a fun hobby. Yeah, I'll kind of go through that in a little bit. What is a fun, unique thing about my channel? I think that I try to read everything. I like to read just a little bit of everything. If you had to ask me my favorite genre, I would probably say YA, because I love YA and I'm always gonna love YA. I always blame it on the fact that when I was growing up, we didn't have YA books. That was not a thing that existed. I went from the Boxcar Kids to Stephen King, and that's not even me exaggerating. There was no YA demographic. So I would go to Boxcar Kids. I guess Harry Potter was sort of my transitional series. I'll be very honest, because there really was nothing for our age bracket at that point. And then we would go to adult books. So once I actually hit adult, in college, that's when YA became super popular. And I love YA authors. I love reading their stories. I also teach in middle school, and not that there's I would probably still read YA regardless, but I just like to read a little bit more diversely. I know that there are booktubers here that read only fantasy and read only romance, and I love watching those booktubers because I get a ton of recommendations. But honestly, that would make me burn out, if anything, reading one genre forever. So I like to read a little bit of everything. I love fantasy. If I had to choose my favorite genre, physically reading, it would probably be fantasy, and my favorite genre to listen to would probably be romance. But I think I read a little bit more diversely. I mean, I try to. I also try to read a wide range of things. I also do go to a lot of bookish conventions, so I do get access to a lot of ARCs early, which is really exciting. And I also just like coming up with cool ways to kind of frame a reading vlog, which I do. I also just love to vlog. If you're looking for daily vlogs or weekly vlogs, come here, because I do vlog a lot. I try to vlog at least once a week or have at least one vlog going every week. So I do vlogs a lot, and I love a readathon. My goal in 2024 is to do one readathon a month. This month I'm doing the Battle of the Girl Bands readathon. Next month I'm doing Realmathon, and then I'm doing a Relium. So I'm trying to have a readathon every single month, and I think it's gonna work out so far. I don't know one for July yet, but I think all the other ones have a solid month of readathon, which I'm really excited about. I also am a teacher, so I do try to read a lot of middle grade on this channel and try to support indie and diverse authors. But yeah, those are just some things about me that if you are looking for those things, definitely like and subscribe below. What are you most excited for? I'm most excited to try to get into the collaboration game in the future. I am painfully shy. I think that's like not a shock to anyone. If you know me in real life, actually probably is a shock, because they always say, oh, and you're gonna see my cute dog if she comes here, but she's out of frame. I am very, very shy when it comes to reaching out for Booktube, because I think the communities are all established and that scares me. But I want to be less afraid, and I want to try to collab more with people. I also want to try to do reading sprints more. Sorry, my dog is literally like right here. She hears me talking. And I want to do reading sprints. Reading sprints honestly scare me because the bots and people that have like malicious intent. But okay, all right, good. You want to come say hi? Yeah, you do. But I want to collab more. I want to work. Would love to co-host a readathon, but I think my numbers have to be a bit higher to co-host a readathon with somebody, and which I totally understand, because you want to like have a platform, someone to help you get more followers, which I totally understand. But I would love to like do more reading sprints. I would love to collab with people in the Booktube community, and I know that that's also like a two-way street. I have to reach myself out for that, and I also have to like ask questions and be intrigued. I'm also getting a lot better at commenting, but definitely I want to do more themed vlogs in a sense, and I want to kind of do at least a couple of themes a month. I want to do a bunch more readathons. I want to do reading sprints. And I just want to... And this is my puppy. This is Cassie. She is a 2-year-old German Shepherd. She's a baby. She's my baby. Her ears are in my way, but she is my little girl. And she says hi. She's going to go somewhere else now, but... Or maybe not. But yeah, that's what I'm excited to do. I'm excited to sort of expand my content. I want to do a lot more reading vlogs, but I also want to do some more reading sprints. I also want to collab with some people. I want to maybe like, you know, do some fun projects like that. I also want to have some long-term projects. Yeah, so that's just what I'm excited to do in this channel kind of going forward. I want to definitely be more engaged in the Booktube actual community and less insulated in my own little life, which honestly I have done for my whole life. I've been very, very insulated, so I want to change that game up a little bit. Sorry, I'm also a very, very long-winded talker, so I apologize. Question 4, why do you love reading? I have loved reading since I can remember. There has not been a time in my life that I haven't loved reading. For me, I'm an only child, and when I was very, very little, that was like the only source of like friendship I had. It was the characters in the books and stuff that made me like keep, you know, it just kept me entertained, and escaping to go to a new world or all that stuff just is what made me love reading. I was a big fantasy reader as a kid, also a big mystery reader as a kid. Those two genres are the reasons why I love reading so much, because it's definitely an escape. But I don't remember when I got into reading. I'm sure it's like when I was 4 or 5. I also struggled a lot with learning in like elementary and middle school years, so reading was the one thing that I was solidly good at, and I knew I was good at it, and there was no fear of that. Like I just knew I was good at reading, so it was definitely my comfort thing. Right now in future, I love like the community. I love talking to people about books. I love going to book conventions. I love like finding new worlds. I love learning new things. I love reading books about things that I'm never going to know and learning more. So that is why I love reading. I think it's an escape from reality. It's also a big, big turn of like self-care for me. It is something that I really care about. Like I love the fact that I love the fact that reading is an escape. I love it, the fact that reading is self-care to me. So that's why I love reading, because it's an escape, and it's also in recent years, like the last couple of years, became like a sense of community, which I have also really, really enjoyed. So yeah. What book series got me into reading? Now I'm gonna say this is gonna be a bit controversial, like currently, but I can't lie. I would say the first series that got me into like reading was probably the Boxcar Kids. When I was super little, it was the first serialized book that like I read. And I remember I read all of them. I read all the Babysitter Club books. Those were the two series that sort of got me into reading and was engaged. But I'll be very honest, the book that I think for most people in like the early 2000s was Harry Potter. It just was. I can't tell you that it wasn't, because it was. If you asked me like what book did I was waiting for opening release, it was Harry Potter. I also built such a fun community around Harry Potter. I've been following the same like booktubers for the past like 10, like 20 years. Like the same set of YouTuber like podcasters I have followed for the past 10 years. So those are the people that I follow when I look for Harry Potter content nowadays, obviously with everything with the author. But I would say the Boxcar Kids and Babysitter Club like immediately when I was super little. And then once I hit like middle school, when I really started to read like voraciously, was Harry Potter. I tried that was what I read. I loved to read Harry Potter. It was, those are my first like book friends and my, the first series that I cared enough about to keep going. That it was Harry Potter. What question would I ask my favorite booktubers? That's actually a good one. I guess I love that people on Booktube can do these very, very large, all-encompassing projects. But the only question I have is, how do you balance that with your enjoyment, I guess? Because I look at those projects and I'm like, but you don't, like, a lot of people I follow, like, they mostly do it for like a concept, or they do it for like an idea, and it's a big long-term project. And I guess like my question is, how do you balance a project like that with books you're not gonna like, but the video will do well, but reading stuff that you want? Because for me as a booktuber, I always want my enjoyment to come first, and that's probably why I lack growth a little bit. But how do you balance that? Or do you see books more as a career and less as a hobby, I guess? I don't know. How do you structure your filming day is something I'm always interested in. And if someone wants to gain growth on YouTube, what is some things that you recommend that they try and add to their schedule? I guess those are my 3 questions. But yeah, more of like creating content based around things that will do well versus things that you actually enjoy. Because for me, I think because I read so diversely, I think it gets to be a bit tricky for me because there is no niche I fit into. So yeah, how do you play that game, I guess? Cassie? Sorry, she's biting my phone. But yeah, so that what I think would be, the questions I would have. Sorry, my puppy was taking things into the bathroom that she shouldn't be because it's gonna give her a bellyache. What challenge do you think having a booktube channel will be hardest to overcome? I think, again, just like finding a balance between what I love to read and trying to make content around that. I think that's always a challenge. Time, honestly, only unless I do in my show time, like the balance between that. But also just work-life balance, I guess, like not having everything focused on reading, like having time for movies and TV shows and going out with my friends and doing all that. I never want to get into a situation where reading here is like a job. It's mostly just for fun, and I want to keep that balance. But I also would like to get a little bit more growth and maybe hit 1,000 subscribers and maybe get monetized one day. So those are just things in my head. But I think literally I just have to reach out more. I have to go to more reading sprints, and I like doing reading sprints. I just have to like be more present, I guess. So those are the challenges. And host reading sprints and just get over my fear of it, which I think some people in the booktube community may help me with, which is really exciting. But yeah, I just think my shyness in reaching out to people in the booktube community that I often see as like bigger booktubers, to me they're bigger, and I have to like get over that. I just have to just do it. And it's just scary to me. So, and these people are not just gonna message me because that's just not how it happens, but like, you know, I just have to get over my fear of a couple of different things, and that's definitely one of them. Reaching out to people is scary to me because I think that like I'm too small. But I know that may be true, that may be the reason, but it's also may not be true. So in my own head, that's where I'm at. But yeah, my thing I have to overcome is just like reaching out to people to like do things or offer to do things, and that's scary to me. Yeah, question 8, when did you start reading? Again, I really can't remember. I'm going to probably say it was when I was like 4 or 5, and I just was, I would read anything and everything. Like I just was a voracious reader. Again, I had a lot of learning issues in other aspects of my life, like especially math and writing. But reading was something that I knew I was good at. I knew it was a strength of mine. I was content with that. So I just kept doing that. Like I just kept reading because I knew I was good at it. So yeah, where do you read? I read everywhere and everywhere. I'm a big audiobook listener as well. But if you like told me like right now what is my favorite spot to read, and it's probably my bed. I love to lay down on my bed, have booktube going in like the background and just reading as I watch booktube. That is my favorite thing to do. I also do listen to a lot of audiobooks at work. This month not been withstanding. I think it was a bit of like a rougher month for me. I was sick. There was a lot of stuff going on with my grandparents, so this month was not the best for that. But in normal times, I will read everywhere and everywhere. Especially when I am on a ball and I'm in the groove. This month has not been one of those months, but that's okay. Hopefully in the future it will be. What kind of books do you like to read? I love reading fantasy books. I love escaping to a world that's not like my own. I love seeing how authors build their worlds. I also love books that have something I'm trying to solve, so like a mystery element. I also love romance in my stories. So I like a good like complete story that has a lot of different genres. I love like a good genre blend, but all of those elements like romance and mystery are pretty much in every fantasy book anyway. So those are all like I love a book that's like my perfect read. Like I recently read Isles of the Gods by Amy Kaufman, and that was like my perfect book because it had a solid romance, it had a solid mystery, it was YA fantasy. So I read everything. I read nonfiction. The only thing I don't love, and this is just a me thing, is I need my romances, if I'm going to read them physically, to have like a bit more of a plot to it. I need to have it, and it can't just be like the romance. There has to be something else to it. So that's what I look for when I do that. But those are the books I read. I will read just about everything. I love a good middle grade story. I love a romance. But if you're looking for something that like is a book for Laura, I would say it's a fantasy book with romance and mystery. And my book collection has taken over my bedroom. So I'm going to show you guys my book collection because I think it's interesting. I'm on my tripod so I can actually do it. My book collection has completely taken over my room. I'll be super honest. So let's take a look at it. This is my immediate TBR. Here is my my list shelves. That is my books that I got for Christmas over here. That is my TBR cart. There's books there. There's books here. There's books there. There's books there. And there's books there. So yeah. And there's my TBR cart, like my actual one. So yeah, I have a lot of books. And I love it. I think what's different about my collection is I have more unread books than I have read books. And some people's book collections is not like that, but that's just how mine is. I think it's because I go to a lot of book conventions, so I get a lot of arcs. So a lot of it, what it will be is I will like read a book, decide if I love it, decide if I'm going to talk about it at the end of the year, and then I decide if I'm not and I get rid of it. Which is why I sell on Pango a lot more now. But yeah, that is my Booktube newbie tag. Let me know in the comments if you have done this tag. I would love to see them. I don't really know anyone that hasn't done this because everyone I know pretty much has done this before. But if you want to do it and you haven't, I tag you. Hi Book Dragon. So I'm gonna wrap up my Booktube newbie tag, but again I think I got cut off because my camera ran out of space. But yeah, if you want to do this tag, please do it. I would love to know, and let me know in the comments, what do you want to see more from my channel in the future, because I would love to take suggestions. I'm starting to get comments and I like to take examples from those. So if you have a vlog or something you want to see me do in the future, please let me know below, and I'll talk to you guys soon.